Hello and welcome once again to another episode of 177 Nations of Tasmania. Up until the early 2000s, it was very rare to see an African face on the streets of Hobart or Launceston. All this started to change with the arrival of really noticeable numbers of refugees, primarily from Sudan, though in fact most were from what is now called South Sudan, who were the survivors of an ongoing brutal civil war that has taken the lives of hundreds of thousands and displaced millions. Amongst those arrivals was Lawrence and his siblings, who arrived in Hobart in 2003. Now, the early days were not easy, adjusting to a new language, school, and dealing with racism as well. However, over the past 20 years, Hobart has become much more diverse, with many newcomers from diverse parts of Africa and elsewhere. And as you will hear, Lawrence has found himself feeling more and more at home in Hobart, where he now lives with his wife and 5 children.
I was born in a hospital in Uganda, a little place called Reuniting, but then we went back to Sudan for 3 months. Well, don't have memory of that because I was really little. 3 months later, I was started, and then I went to Uganda, and with my mom. My mom took me there. Then we grew up in the refugees camp until I was 14 years of age and came to Australia. Yes.
And your family is originally from South Sudan, is that
Yes,
right? Yeah.
yes. The only reason why I was born in Uganda is because there was a lot of rumors of wars starting, and my auntie took my mother to Uganda hospital to give birth because things weren't really safe and things were not certain. Yeah.
Yeah, and Uganda was the nearest bordering country.
Well, we share border with
Yeah.
Uganda, so South Sudan, where normally people from right across is just Uganda. Yeah.
So then did your mum specifically go to Uganda to give birth?
Yes, my auntie took my mom. So her older sister took her, yeah. Because at this stage we already lost my father, so my auntie couldn't not afford to lose more life at this stage, yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so she wanted to make sure everything went all right.
And so what was your early life in Uganda like? or what do you remember?
I remember a lot of struggle, but I remember happiness. And I remember community being together. We didn't have a lot, but I think we had each other no matter what. In the little we had, it has to go a long way with everybody else, yes.
So were you mainly around with other Sudanese?
Yes, because we were in refugees camp. Basically, the refugees camp was Sudanese, but we do get interviewed with the Ugandan citizens because they're also nearby the refugees camp. So in the refugees camp, we basically, yes, unless we go out of that, so we go near town or something. I feel like when I was a little bit older, when I got a little bit older, we were able to go to the town, to the shop, or, mothers would send us to the nearest town to buy stuff and bring back. That's when we start interfering. But before that, in the refugees camp, we had the camp school, everything.
So the camp was sort of self-contained, but you were able to kind of go in and out.
Yeah, we're able to go in and out in very nearby, not long distance, but everybody got given a little bit of land, so say maybe a couple of hectares to grow stuff on, as well as the UNCR sort of give corn, dry ones, and some beans and some soap and some oil and some salt to help. But by everything else, you have to, that's not enough to raise family. You have to grow small things. You have to grow your own greens. You have to, and they supply us with a bit of seed so we could, but it was harder for us because there was not a male figure because my father being passed a lot earlier. That changes a bit of a game, yeah.
I've noticed that seems to be quite a common thing for many Sudanese who come here, that they don't have a father figure.
Yeah, that's a lot because I don't know about for other people how they lost their parents or their father, but my father was a commander, so they were taking food somewhere, and then accident happened, which they ran on the mines and that blow up. So that's how we lost him. But so many people lost their parents or their older siblings in a different ways, or they try to fight back, or in that sort of in that sort of situation where you feel like you're old enough to you feel responsible to protect your family. But yeah, a lot of people were lost that way, especially fathers. They send their wife and their children to run ahead, and they stood and fought to back them off a bit. But yeah, every war is a crime. I think every single war it's a crime. There's no war called fair war. There's not just equal, because every war, no matter what sort of war is, the civilians are the one are in trouble.
So you get to go to school in the refugee camp?
Yeah, on and off, because you start going to one school and sort of starting to settle, and then we have to move. And then when you move, you go to a new camp or something, you have to worry about building a house or something, or cottage,
Okay.
Like it was never a proper house, but it's a cottage, or tent, trying to settle. And then you start going to school, and it's time to move again. So it was always on the move. Yeah.
So it was kind of disrupted school.
Disrupted. Very, very disturbed childhood.
Yeah.
Very, very disturbed. In some part of different camps, I suppose, there's some camp was set permanently until peace was announced to them. But where I was, it wasn't. So I've been 5 different camps.
Okay.
So
all in Uganda?
All in Uganda, yes. Yeah, 5 different places where we have to move because our circumstances changed there. Or we have to move to where my grandmother camp was because my stepdad was no longer with my mom, or he abuses my mom.
Okay.
It was just everything. Too many things happened. Yeah.
And so how many people were in your family at that time?
When I was 4, my mom remarried to my uncle, and they had 3 other kids. So a brother and 2 sisters.
So
But-
you had some brothers and sisters and some half
Yeah,
siblings.
so half siblings, but they never call them like that anyway. So in sort of my culture, this is what they used to practice. If your brother die and has a family left over, or like a young family left behind, is your basically responsibility to take over and raise that family, and therefore she can have your kid as well. Apparently that's what they used to practice, and that's what went ahead. Those kids are still sign off the name of my father, but my uncle is their father. But it just, things went a bit sour, I suppose, and it didn't continue for long, and my mother left.
Were you ever expecting to go back to Sudan at that stage?
While we were in camp,
Yeah. Did you feel like you were just there temporarily, or?
well, it's funny, at the start it feel like it's temporary, and everybody pray for peace, everybody wish for peace and want to go back. But in the long run, you get used to the life you're living, and even though it's very, the bottom of the life you're living, it's become like, it's acceptable. You in the long run, you accept to live that way. I never thought about that, but that's something. The camp life become like, you get up, you go and work, people farm, or you do what you do to survive for the day, and then basically you live as the day provide, I suppose. Everyone always have dreams, like, people want to study, I've seen other older kids that they have gone to like college, and out of the camp their parents send them out of the camp because they had more than we had. So if you had money, even though you were refugees, you were able to put your kids into a proper school, and at the end of the day, money talks. So if you have gold, you have stuff, you can, yeah. But ours was taken away from us a little bit earlier, which when my father passed than that, because when we were in Sudan, we used to have everything. Like my sisters and my other brothers, they went to a good school. We were living like here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Until he passed and then the war started and we just lost everything. I can tell you quick, say for example, like the war happened in Ukraine. Mm. You know, all these people were living their life. You know, they have everything. They have school to go to. They have friends. They have family. They have cars. They have farm. They grow everything. They have everything they need. But bang, war start. What happened? What do you take? Everything you know, everything you have, it's all left behind or destroyed. Left behind and destroyed, I should say. Yeah, so it's like that. Even though we live very culturally, we have a strong culture, but even though we live that way, we still have everything we need.
And so what were your dreams when you were in the camp?
It's funny. I used to make a lot of music when I was young. I used to sit under the tree. I had a skeleton of a radio. You know how they used to have, like olden day, they have a radio with tapes. You put tapes in, you press it and you play and you wind it back. I'm old enough to remember those. Like all those sort of stuff. Yeah. I used to have like a skeleton of it where I can only press down or it will press and it will pop back up. Like you press the play bit, but it doesn't work. So I used to press that and make noise and make music. Okay. But that wasn't my dream. But that's what I used to do that for fun. Just all day I would do that. I don't know. I used to want to be engineer or something, make something. I'm always about making something. Very, very creative. That's what I always been, and I wanted to create stuff that something that I could leave behind and forever remain. You know what I mean? Like, did you think that dream was possible, or did you think it was just going to be a dream? The dream was possible. It could come true. The hardest thing is not unable to achieve the dreams that you dream of or what everybody else dream of. It's what we were surrounded by. There was not escape. There's no window or little tiny hole where you can get out and be able to explore and to be able to fulfill what you're capable of. It might feel, oh, this is the life you're living now, but you're always hopeful or you're dreaming for freedom. The most dream everybody have is freedom. You dream for freedom, but when will freedom come? Or what is freedom? It's very hard when you're in that situation where there's no such thing called tomorrow. And the most crazy thing is, even though we were in camp, we still get attacked. You know, we get attacked by Ugandan rebel just to hurt the Ugandan government, as well as whatever goes on, you know, people trying to work hard or just raise the kid, hoping they have better future. What was the process for coming to Australia, and how did it start? That bit, it was very hard. So my mom was poisoned. So my mom died. And she left me and my 3 other siblings, which had my uncle. But my dad had 3 wives. So those 3 wives had kids. So I have older siblings. I was the youngest one for my dad, but oldest for my mom. So my older sister was already here. And actually, I think they were still in camp in Kakuma, but on the way to coming here. And then when she got here, I think she came here 2002. And then her and husband, they sponsor us to come here. And how long did it take for you to get approval? It was a long process, probably a year and a half, maybe close to 2 years. Mm-hmm. I was in Kampala waiting. They were very great I mean, I'm very grateful for them because being a new arrival here, and they were trying to get all this paper to be, processed, and they were paying for our accommodation in Kampala City, which is the capital of Uganda, where we were in it. There was 4 of us, which is my older brothers and my other sister and my other older brother. So yeah, all together.
So you all came together?
Yeah, only 4 of us, but not my mom's kid. Just me from my mom's side, and one from the other wife, and one from the other wife, and one from the other wife. So there's 4 of us, but from one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's
Complicated.
It's very complicated, but it works. I could barely speak English when I came. I could say hello, hi, bye. That's it. I know when we were close to camp, we were looking at the map where we are, very tiny little Tassie, that's where we're going, and it's like very exciting, To me, it didn't feel like I'm going to another country or very far, but it felt like I was just going to rejoin with my sister.
Okay.
Because my sister was very big role model in my life. And when she left the camp to go to another camp with her husband, where they came here, I missed her so much. And I was like looking so forward just reuniting with her, because coming to Australia didn't feel like I'm going to another country. I didn't even know that.
So how old were you when you arrived here?
14.
14, okay.
Yeah. 14, nearly 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so still school age.
It's still school age, so I went to grade 8, and then grade 9, 10 in college. Then I start working, because I had a lot of responsibility that I have to take care of, and trying to build future. I suppose I should have stayed at school, but sometime you got to do what you got to do, brother.
Yeah. And not everybody is suited to the school environment.
No, especially when you don't have the early foundation, like that very early foundation. I wish it could have, even though I was 14, it could start. Eris and I actually talk about this a lot sometimes. When new arrival come, we should start them from like really that primary school level, and then build them up so they actually got chance. I'm not saying I didn't have a chance, but to build them up to
lay a stronger foundation.
Yeah, lay a stronger foundation so they could actually feel better. Yeah, so if you can't read and write and you got thrown into grade 9 or even a college, what do you expected to achieve? If you hardly know your ABC and you get chucked into grade 8 or grade 9, grade 10, what you supposed to do?
So were there many other Sudanese around who could sort of help you out or
It's funny. At my school, there was no one could speak my language.
Okay.
So I was grade 8. No one could actually say. It's because, being Sudanese, they expect you automatically to speak Arabic. But because I was never in Sudan, I grew up in Uganda, so I could understand Arab because my mom speak Arab very fluent. I could understand Arab, but I couldn't, speak it back. So at school, they bring them along, say, they want them to translate something to me. I was like, I don't understand what to say. I don't know what to say. They're speaking their language, hoping that I knew what they were saying, but nah.
So how many years did you do school here?
Here, 9, 10, 11, and 12. And I think I did a bit of courses in the college I typed for a couple of years just to better myself.
And did you find it hard or easy to get to know the sort of local people, like at school or wherever?
About that. It's hard to say, but I think it's easy for me to relate to people or to meet people. But 2003, it was pretty hard time in Hobart. I mean, an immigrant was just sort of introduced. People are coming and people don't know who you are. They, it was hard. First 2-3 years, I faced a lot of racism, but that didn't stop me from loving people, and or trying to meet other people.
Yeah, for context, I should say that I guess at that time it was fairly new it was for the first wave, I suppose, of Africans to settle here.
Yeah.
Maybe it probably started early 2000s, late 90s, but before that it was hardly anything.
Hardly. Like, I think it was only 4 of us as black boys at school or brown skinned boys at school. There's only 4, and before that there were maybe 2 others which older left the school and then we started, and that was it. And when you go in the street of Hobart, you don't see anyone. There wasn't no Indians, no Chinese, no no, there was not that many people. So like I say, it didn't stop me from loving people or wanting to meet new people, which, I did face a lot of that. Like, I was egged there and I was called whatever name that, I was hit. All that sort of stuff. But, nah, I think I've seen more than just that to stop me from loving people, because I think the world will be a lot better if everyone sort of respond to more loving than react to hate. I don't know. I don't know if I should call it hate, because you can't hate what you don't know.
When you finished your school here, what did you do then?
Well, before I even finished school, I got a job. I worked, kept studying and work, and get a different job and work.
So how did you get your first job?
Oh, my old teacher got it for me.
Okay.
That was funny. I was working at Hill Street.
Oh, really?
She got it. She talked to one of the boss. They said, "Oh yeah, I'm a good boy. They should hook me up." And I got it. And then they gave me the job. I think I worked there for maybe 7 months, and then moved on. Got a similar job after that, moved on. And then got another job, moved on. Then I end up owning my own store for a little while.
And so what are you doing now?
I do transporting work now. I do transport. Yeah, we do a lot of delivering, picking up a lot of big stocks and take them all across the state. And what I love about it, you get to see so much different part of Tassie. Like, everybody should go work in transport. To be honest, you see the beauty of Tassie.
Yeah.
You see it all. From south to north, west to east, everywhere. Everything between it, you see it. It's good.
Yeah. How did you first meet your wife? And how long have you been together?
Oh, we've been together for maybe 13, 14 years. But I knew her way back. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I knew her. Her mom used to teach at school. So we used to hang out, just friends. Yep. And then one day just to date.
And, how many kids have you got?
I've got 5.
5?
Yeah, it's 5 of them. So the oldest is 12 and the youngest is 2.
Okay. Oh, you've got plenty to look after you when you're old.
Well, I hope so. I hope they do the right thing.
Yes. Because isn't that the tradition in Africa?
Well, it's supposed to be. Your elders parents look after you, and then when they get old, you're supposed to look after them. It's the same cycle, isn't it? Yeah. It's supposed to be that way anyway.
Yeah.
That's how I was raised anyway, so. But I see a lot of different things here, though. When you get older, check you in the home or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I know that's one thing that many immigrants from Asia, Africa find a bit difficult about here is just the different attitude to elderly people. Because if I understand rightly, in most parts of Africa, there's a lot of respect for the people who are older than you. Yeah,
I experienced that when I came, when I was very near arrival. I got in a bus where bus is full, Well, when I got in the bus wasn't full, but on the way, the bus got really full. An old person got in with a stick trying to walk along. Everybody else doing their own thing, I was like, oh, do you want my seat? And then I just give my seat to them. But no one else would have offered that. But I said that many, many times. When come for respect for elders, I think everyone respect the elders, but in different ways. Back in Sudan, if I was in my father's land and my great-great-great-great-grandfather's land, everyone's lived there. Yes, maybe we grow up, we go to city to work, and then our home is always there. Our kids will go there, and they go to school nearby, and then they will go further. Responsibility is to keep going. And when they get old, it's our responsibility because we're young and fit. We need to look after them. Because when we're young and weak, they look after us. To me, that's normal. It is respect, but at the end of the day, responsibility. It's like if I have enough and you don't have any, automatically in my culture, I automatically to share with you. If you don't have food and I got food, even a peanut, we're supposed to break it. You know what I mean? But here, you got to work hard to better your life and your family, and that's the very center and it's very cycle of your life. It's to better your life and your family life, which your immediate family life, which is your kids, your wife, and that's it mostly. You know what I mean? But where I'm from is different. It's I still do now. I work hard. I really work hard. I have siblings which are younger than me. Are still back in Africa.
Okay.
When they're sick, they got no one else to call. They call me, and I give them money. I make sure they go to hospital. I make sure they're well. When they have drought, they don't have food, they call me, and I give them money. I make sure they're fit, and the people around them, they can help them as well. So, and I know a lot of people do it. A lot of people that, the immigrant probably come here, I don't know how long ago. Everyone does it, It's your responsibility to look after each other. Because how can I live here in a nice house? I can eat as many meals I want in a day, but knowing, they only had maybe one meal today or yesterday. I can't sleep. How can we? I can't. I cannot. When's that one person, say for example, when one person die, like one elderly person die, there'll be thousands of people coming. That's how much your relation go back. Your family it goes back. It's very important because they actually keep the family trees alive. It's not that I need to go back and have a look what 100 years was like. They kept it alive, everybody know everybody. Everybody talk about who is our past ancestors. You know your great grandpa's name. You know what I mean? Like it's that They just carry that on is as far as possible. They keep carrying it on as far as possible. Yeah, like my son Eliseo, that's my great grandpa's name. Another funny story. So when we come here, we were living like near St. Mary and that, where St. Mary, they call it St. Mary School. We were living near there. One day I came out of there where we were sleeping. I was just hanging out. I think we were 5 days here, 5 days. But I haven't been out. We've just been inside, eat and hang out, shower and sleep. Let's chill. And I saw these St. Mary girls they're going to the class and that, going to school, walking past right our front doors. Their hands were white. Their heads were white, right? And their legs were black. I was very shocked. I was confused. I was, what is it? Like, so the people are here, half white and half black. Is that what's going on? I was like, I ran to my brother. I was like, hey, wake up, bro. Come check this out. The people are here. Their bottom bit is black and the top bit, it's white. He came and said, I don't know, leave me alone. He went. You know? Later on, I realized they were wearing stocking.
Yeah, yeah.
I wish I knew that. Yeah, that was funny. That killed me. That killed me. I will never forget that. I will never forget that story. No.
You've got your 5 kids who've been brought up here.
Yeah.
What do you sort of hope for the future for them?
They have bright future in front of them. So they're all smart. They were doing well at schools and they're all sporty. Hopefully they do it right. I just want them to have respect for everyone. Like mostly to have respect for themselves and to have respect for everyone. And everything else will work itself out.
Yeah. And how much of like your Sudanese heritage do you try to pass on to them? Like, for example, do they know some of the language?
Yeah, they can say hi and not a lot, but I try because obviously my wife only speaks English, but we speak a lot of English here. But yeah, I try. I try sometime to take them to my stepmom house, and then they speak different languages there, so it's just good.
Yeah.
It's good for them. Yeah. And also the culture way, how things supposed to be done, how they're supposed to behave, that sort of stuff. I try to pass that on to them. I should never hear my kids swear at me, so I try not to. It's hard some days,
Have you seen a lot of change here in that time? Like, for example, in people's attitudes towards African migrants?
Yeah, a lot better. Yeah, a lot different. It have changed a lot. A lot. It's funny, my wife, when she used to go to the supermarket or something, people say to her, oh, you're doing such a good thing raising those kids up. Where did they come from? What? What? Like, what do you answer to that? Like,
yeah.
Somebody saying that to you in supermarket because they're brown kids.
Yeah.
Huh? You're doing good thing for the world. What? Yeah, it is weird. And yeah, but it's not a lot. It's not like these go back where you came from. It's not that anymore. It's like very cheeky, but it's good. It's have come down a lot. I don't know if you know what I mean, but yeah, it have come down a lot.
In Melbourne, for example, there was a time when there was all this fear about Sudanese gangs, and it never seemed to be an issue here. I wondered whether that's because it's a smaller place and...
No, it's not that. You see media push what they want to push. I'll blame media for that. And people, doesn't matter what it is. Like I said before, it doesn't matter what culture it is or whatever it is. There's always good people. There's always 5% of the bad people, no matter what culture.
Yeah.
So when they see crazy young teenagers drunk running around causing trouble, they're gang, because they're black. Mostly in Melbourne, they're blacks as Sudanese, pretty much. They're Sudanese, but when you have like on the other side of where they, I don't know, I've seen on the TV where they stab each other. People stab each other. Mm-hmm. People do this thing. People do that stuff. But that was never reported, that way. Media is very easy to put everyone in one bracket.
Yeah.
I'm always justice person. You gotta play fair on. It's that 5 group of boys or 5, 10, 20 group of people when did stuff. I was very against that Sudanese gang thing or African gang thing. I was very, because I'm not thugging up. I'm not, I'm not. I'm doing the right thing here. I'm trying to raise my kids here,
Yeah.
And I know a bunch of others trying to raise the kids and trying to do the right thing. They go to work every day. They don't steal anyone's stuff. They get up, they go work and bring, to put food on the table for the kids. And then turn the TV on. Oh, Sudanese gangs. No. There's just a bunch of clowns doing whatever they want to do. That's what I call them. A bunch of clowns doing whatever they think is okay. Just like it's going to happen at the Eastland. Bunch of clowns walking in the supermarket, filling up their pockets and walking out. When the shopkeeper trying to say something, they spit on the face and keep walking. It's funny, when that was happening, actually, when I still had the shop. And that week when this Sudanese gang thing was going on, I feel it in my shop. It was very quiet.
Yeah, right.
It was really, really quiet. I mean, we push on advertising stuff, but the shop, I noticed the difference.
Have you noticed that people here now have a bit of a better understanding of Africans, Sudanese?
Yeah, I think so. I got a lot of friends. I got a lot of friends that aren't Sudanese. A lot of friends. Lots. It's been 20 years making. Hobart is definitely different. It's different to what it used to be. A lot of people, I still now and then get people, oh wait, so where you from? Mm-hmm. That's all right. I used to joke. I say I'm from Belle Rive. So where you from? Belle Rive, yeah. Like I used to just do for joke. Then I tell them where I was born and blah blah blah. But it's not, like I say, it's not, I don't know how to put it the right way. They're arrogantly like appearing, say, oh, go back where you come from, blah blah. I don't see that. I don't hear that anymore. I don't see that anymore. Music always been my passion. I love doing music. I love entertaining people. I do it for love. I normally just write personal stories and and put it out there. The crowd like it, and
so you occasionally do live performances.
Yeah, occasionally. I used to do more until COVID hit and things sort of got shut down a bit. There was not much festivals going on, but maybe it's time to take over again. Mm-hmm. Do some more.
What kind of music do you like to do?
I started off doing a lot of hip hop, sort of a lot of rapping and that sort of stuff. But these days, I like doing like dancehall, sort of a reggaeton. It's like more sort of African flavored, slash everything else mixed in there.
Yeah.
Whatever keep people going, whatever keep me dancing, I suppose. I like it. As long the true story keep coming out of it, because to me, music set me free. Mm-hmm. And so whatever been bothering me or whatever I see bothering other people or what I see going on in the world, music always free me from that, because then I go have my say of what I've seen or what I've heard. I'll have my say, but I say that in the music because I think somebody else need to listen or hear it, whatever is going on. It's okay,
Thank you for listening to another episode of 177 Nations of Tasmania. Don't forget you can also follow us on Spotify, Facebook and Twitter. Just look up 177 Nations of Tasmania. And thank you again for listening.